a Plog called The Heaviest Thing. People have different ideas about what is heavy. Some find things heavy, some find the body heavy, but the heaviest thing here is the invisible thing called mind. The minds of sheeple are full of notions, concepts, worries, etc., 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 heavy enough to drag them down to hells. Oh my goodness, that's like such an important point. And yeah, beings like say that like a lot of things are heavy, like how P said that some beings think that the body is heavy. Some beings think that a lot of things in their life is such a heavy burden on their existence. But like how P explains here is that the heaviest thing is actually the mind, and it really is. It's because because like beings have like a whole bunch of craziness happening in their minds, like how P said that the mind is full of notions, concepts, and worries. And beings do a lot of that. Like they do a lot of assumptions, they do a lot of notions, they do, I mean, they their minds are filled with all of these like junk. Basically it's like a whole bunch of junk that doesn't lead them anywhere. And like how P said, it actually drags them down into hell. It's like their mind is just so heavy, and it's just completely taking over their whole existence, that they're just getting dragged down into hell without even knowing it. And beings complain all the time that, oh, the government is doing this to us, the government is doing that to us. And they don't see that it's actually their own mindset and their own ego that's actually keeping them from evolving. Like if they put their ego aside, if they put their faulty notions, concepts, and worries aside, then they could actually see things much more clearly, and they'll be able to hear P, and be able to say, like logically say that P is in a different circumstance that I'm in. Like P is in a heavenly mind state every time, and beings aren't. Like beings are always just completely going in circles in their head, they're just going in complete madness. Like beings, they tease and they mock people that are actually in these asylums that have like schizophrenia and all those things, but they're actually in an asylum themselves, and they're going completely mad with all of their thoughts and crazy faulty notions. And if beings just use their time and energy to put their attention on a being who has control of the mind, P is the embodiment of Shiv, and Shiv rules over, Shiv conquered the mind and was able to just to like not be just overwhelmed by his thoughts, or be affected by any kind of faulty notions or concepts or worries. And like if beings just focus on P, then they wouldn't have to worry about all of this, this mind buildup. Like one remembered, like before finding P, and one was researching a whole bunch of things that were coming out on the internet, and one's mind was just boggled. Or like how P said that like the title Google, like googly eyed, like he explained it like that. And that's what happened. Like one's mind was just going crazy. It just really felt that one was like developing like some kind of schizophrenia, because one was just completely tense and just worried about everything, and just making false notions and doing all of these craziness, like this, just these crazy thoughts that one would have. And when one came across P, he explained that, beings are not supposed to be in this hellish kind of mind state and like this hellish kind of circumstance, and just following his teachings and just following P, who has a clear, like a crystal clear mind, and just like how he said, like in one of his videos, like a milky mind, like his mind is just very clear and it doesn't have any kind of blockages or any of those kinds of things. So yeah, this really is like the heaviest thing that beings are dealing with right now, and if they just put their ego aside and just surrender to the divine, and surrender like their whole being to divine, and they wouldn't have to deal with this this heavy load of the mind and like the faulty notions that people have about everything. So yeah.